Welcome to my discussion board of week 2. I'm so sorry for my voice. I lost it a couple days ago and just been powering through. I will be discussing 4 articles that I chose from our collaborative book. The first article was The Power of Arbitrators and Courts to Order Discovery and Arbitration. Right here is a citation of the article. So this article cannot be done. Looks at what can and cannot be done when gathering evidence in arbitration, focusing on when arbitrators and courts can order people to share information. For example, Benson does explain that unlike regular court cases, arbitration is meant to be more flexible and simple, but people may still need to gather information to make their case. The article does review law and court decisions that control how evidence is shared in arbitration, especially under the Federal Arbitration Act and state laws. In this article, Benson also looks at when arbitrators can make people hand over documents or give witness statements, and when courts might be able to step in to help or limit these requests. The author in this article, he does talk about finding the balance between efficient and being fair and suggest practical ways for people and some other lawyers to get information they need without losing the benefits of arbitration. And the second article I chose was Conflict Resolution for Contrasting Cultures. And again, this is my citation. In this article, it looks at the problems that can happen when people have different cultures, have conflicts at work. Clark and Lip look at how cultural value can affect how people see conflict, how they talk it out, how they view the authority, and how they work within groups. The author did point out in this article that misunderstandings and bigger problems can happen if cultural rules are ignored. They give helpful tools for trainers and managers, like ways to notice cultural differences or being able to adjust conflict solving methods that can fit the different cultures. Within the article, it does stress the need for careful listening, understanding the feelings of others, and just having an honest conversation. It also does give a explanation on closing cultural gaps, such as using language that fits their culture, teaching people to be more aware, and creating a workplace where different views are welcomed and used to solve some problems. The third article that I chose was dealing with power imbalances in mediation of interpersonal disputes. Again, this is my source. This article does talk about what happens when people who are having conflict don't have equal power. Like one person being stronger, having more resources, or more influence than the other. Davis and Salem explain that these differences can make it hard to reach a fair argument during mediation, which is discussed. It discusses ways mediators can help balance things out, such as making sure that both sides get to speak, explaining the mediation process very clearly, and sometimes, if necessary, meeting with each person separately. The author within this article also suggests that mediators should watch for signs of unfairness and take steps to protect weaker parties so that both sides have an equal chance to share their views and find a solution together. The last article that I chose is a guide for the organizational. a Buddhist person. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Again, this is my citation. In this article, what it means for organizational a Buddhist person is to be neutral. Um, Gladden and Pino, which are the authors, describe how neutral means. It's not taking sides in a conflict and treating everyone equally and fairly. The article discusses how neutrality is important for building trust, helping people feel safe to talk about their problems or issues, and making sure the process is completely fair. The authors also talk about how challenges a Buddhist person face, like people thinking they're biased or trying to influence the outcome. They do give tips on how a Buddhist person can show they're neutral, such as listening carefully, not judging, and keeping information private. Um, Overall, in the article, it does help a Buddhist person understand how to stay neutral and why it matters in their job. Thank you for watching.